Average unit volume was 741,000. An average NOI was 229,000, which is about 31%. And we offer culinary entertainment to kids, families, and adults. And ages 2 to 99, we're doing summer camp, birthday parties. And on the adult side, we're a BYOB kitchen. Come to us, have a great time, laugh, feel good about yourself, leave with recipes and leftovers if there are any.
Welcome, everyone. Today, I'm excited to have Jessi Walter Brelsford, the founder and CEO of Taste Buds Kitchen, which is a unique franchise in the kitchen space, the entertainment space, the kids space, adult space. I think we're going to hear about awesome story, background. I'm excited to learn more. So welcome, Jessi.
Thanks, Brian. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
What is Taste Buds Kitchen? Give me the pitch on it.
Yes, Taste Buds Kitchen, my babies. We're 17 years old this month. We've been around for a while, and we offer culinary entertainment to kids, families, and adults. So you say, what does that mean? It means we have beautiful kitchens. They're 2,000 square feet, and ages 2 to 99 can come in and cook with us. So on the kids side, we're doing summer camp. We're doing birthday parties. We're doing caregiver and me classes for as young as 2. And on the adult side, we're a BYOB kitchen. So you bring your own beer or wine. We have a lot of adult classes, date night classes, corporate team building events, and we've done birthday parties for 30-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and 70-year-olds. Come to us, make something from scratch, whether it's sushi, pasta, cupcakes, everything in between. Have a great time, laugh, feel good about yourself, leave with recipes and leftovers if there are any.
What's a quick backstory? 17 years ago, where was it founded?
Yes, in New York City. 17 years ago, I was in New York City. I'm from Maryland, one of 23 first cousins. I love kids. I love the kitchen. I was always baking. I grew up in a really rural spot of Maryland, and I now live on that same road, funnily enough. But I went to Harvard. I majored in economics, worked on Wall Street in finance, love numbers, love business. But I was really missing this creative side of myself, missing being with all different ages. So I started this as a hobby, teaching kids to bake. That was the initial iteration of this. Did it part-time on top of my job, realized it was a lot on top of working 60 hours a week. So a year later in 2008, I left my job. I was at Bear Stearns at the time. This is when the recession was really starting in New York City. Launched Taste Buds Kitchen. Knew we were going to do all ages and all kinds of food. So that's a quick backstory on how it came.
So it started, then you worked 17 years. It was your main job, building this business, building the reputation.
Full-time ever since. And I started it not as a franchise. I really didn't know much about franchising. So I just started this as my passion, my business that I wanted to grow. And in the 5 years that we operated it, not as a franchise, I had people reaching out saying, oh my gosh, I love this concept. Will you open this in Austin, right? Or will you open this in Denver? And I said, well, I don't see that for myself based on the East Coast. And they said, well, could I? Could you teach me how to do this? And that's really what got my wheels turning and looking into franchising. What did it mean? How could we franchise Taste Buds Kitchen? How could we make it a simple, straightforward business to run and hopefully one that'd be very profitable? So that's what we set out to do. And we've been franchising for 10 years.
So 10 years. And how many franchisees do you have today?
We have 18, 12 open, 6 in different degrees of site selection, construction, and all of those guys will open in 2025.
I guess what's like the growth trajectory that you see? How big do you see this company, and how long do you think it will take you to get there?
Great question. Yeah. So I think we can do 400 to 500 in the United States. That's going to be over many, many years. Our goal is to double this year. So we started the year with 12. We're on track to end with 25. And then same thing for next year. Kind of want to keep doubling as long as we're able to keep up with the support and infrastructure, which right now we're working ahead of where we are. So we have a great HQ team, 9 full-time team members who are supporting our current 18 locations, so really good ratios, and just working on the infrastructure and making TBK, Taste Buds Kitchen, a household name.
Yeah, so let's dive into the business model. So you said you've got classes that you do. Let's start with the consumer standpoint first. So what's it cost to do a party, like a kid's party?
Our prices range from like on our least or most affordable, say caregiver and me, it's going to be about $35. That's for a child and parent pair. So theory $17.50 a person. You come in 1 hour class, you cook start to finish the recipe. So our website's great. It's mobile friendly. You can go and see our calendar of everything that we're offering that you can sign up for and join us. So that's the public side of the business. On the private side of the business, it's where you as the booking client would book the kitchen just for your group. So for a kid's birthday party or a corporate event. And our highest price point is going to be probably more for the adults and the corporate events. It goes anywhere from $75 to $120 a person, depending on the location.
I guess my first question is, who's doing the teaching? So you buy this franchise. Do you have to be a cook? How hard is it to find people who can teach these classes? Like, let's get into that.
Very common question. So the good news is you don't need any formal culinary training. We just want you to have a passion for the kitchen, a passion for community, a passion for building your team, and we can teach you how to do this. You as the franchisee will teach a class on occasion. Some people love to do it, but you won't be doing it very often. You will have a general manager, a full-time general manager, really, which is more of a lead instructor that is going to be teaching most of the classes that you offer when you start up. And then as you get busier, you'll hire more instructors who will help you do this. But the model's meant to be that you are steering the ship, right? Driving your business as you grow. And you have that key employee, that general manager and lead instructor, teaching a lot of the classes, and then you'll grow from there. I have a secondary instructor, third instructor, and you'll have assistants as well. We usually keep a 6-to-1 staffing ratio. So you have people helping with dishes, helping to clear everything away as the clients are cooking. Our one thing we always say when people come is you're going to have fun cooking, and the best part of cooking with us is you don't have to clean up, right? So we clean up for you. You make a mess, you have a great time, and we're kind of cleaning as you go and keeping the tables nice and fresh.
So that GM, I mean, that's a critical role to hire, right? They're the main person. If they quit, like what are you doing, right? Like, so what are the traits that they're looking for in that person?
What makes a good GM? Yeah, it's a great question. So you want a people person. You want a person that wants to be part of a startup, that wants to help you grow this business and really feel responsible for it in a similar way that you do, is going to get out there and help you with marketing. So hospitality backgrounds are great. Restaurant backgrounds are great. A lot of profiles can make this a good hire, and we have a whole profile and job description, and we'll help you hire them, help you train them. But that person that wants to be out there with you and really feel involved in what you're building.
But then in terms of like their skill set in the kitchen, I guess they're not culinary chefs though. Is it more entertainment than it is cooking skills?
In our New York City location, we have off-Broadway actors or inspiring Broadway actors who do a great job, right? It's having fun with the clients. It's a party. It's an event. So same skill set that would make you a good host of a dinner party. You're welcoming people into your home. In this case, you're welcoming people into Taste Buds Kitchen. So you really don't need formal food training for any role at Taste Buds Kitchen. But we do find a lot of times our general managers will come from the restaurant or hospitality world. And for them, Taste Buds Kitchen is so much easier than those, right? The schedule is better. The food costs aren't like they are in food restaurants. We cook, but we're not a food franchise, I would say, in many ways.
Is it a pain point for franchisees to find this person, or is it like there are other bigger pain points?
Yeah, I don't think it's a pain point. I think those that do the best treat their GMs really well. This is your key person. So you want to take care of them. You want to offer growth opportunities for them. You want to have them, grow up to hopefully manage your second location when you open it, or your third, or become the area manager for your locations. I think it's a very findable role and a very trainable role. You just have to really invest in them.
So I want to get into some of your numbers, and then we can kind of go back and hear some stories. But you guys have a pretty good item 19. For those not familiar, item 19 is like the section of a franchise disclosure document where the brand can tell you anything they choose to about the financial performance of their locations. Some brands choose to say very little, while others give you tons and tons of detail that just helps you kind of be disclosed on what it's like. And I got to give you credit that you guys have a great item 19 from just amount of data that you provide people and insights. Honestly, I think it's like almost critical for something like this, because this is a pretty unique business. Like there's not a lot of food entertainment, kitchen entertainment. I have the numbers up. Can you speak to some of the numbers at the top of your head? If not, we can kind of go through some of them.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a numbers person. I love this. And I love item 19s. I think everyone should have one, and you should be as detailed as possible, because it's the best way. I remember when I was an early franchisor and didn't have open franchisees, you can't include it. And that was really hard, because I wanted to tell people those that have gone before them have done. So that's really what it is. A representation of those who have gone before you, data from last year. So in our current 2024 FDD, pulling from 2023 data, average unit volume was 741,000. An average NOI was 229,000, which is about 31%.
Net operating income. So that's like, when you pull it, I mean, they've got rent, it's line by line too. It's here's what your cost of goods was, 8%, here's labor, 30%, rent, royalties, utilities, brand fund, advertising, credit card fees, expenses, insurance, all the stuff. That's a pretty good. And then you get your highs and your lows. I mean, even your lowest franchisee was positive with NOI. Like they made money at the lowest volume location, at least in 2023, or whatever the conditions were in here, probably a full year, right? So that's great. And then you got some other stuff here that I think is pretty interesting. We're coming to the events, some of the event data, the mix of business.
One of my favorite price points, because we broke it last year, the average sale per event is over $1,000. So it's 1,044. So that means the average time you're putting on a class, a party, an event, you're making $1,000 in sales, top line. Now, some are going to be smaller, some are going to be bigger to get the average. But I think that's a great number, a great price point, or a great data point. And we're doing on average 13 events per week. Some people will ask that, like how busy are the kitchens? So 13 events per week. And I want to say it's an average of, 13 or 15 clients coming to each event.
Yeah, 15 clients.
15. Okay, yeah, I think it was 13.
15 clients per event, 13 events per week.
Yeah.
Are a lot of them Fridays and Saturdays, or the adult stuff's Fridays and Saturdays and the kids stuff's during the day?
Great
Is there a balance?
It's pretty balanced. School holidays, so all summer, every school holiday is a third of the year. So a third of the year, our time is school time, 9 to 4, Monday to Friday. Then when it's camp and when kids are in school, then we'll do corporates during the day. People who want a lunch or an afternoon will also do corporates during the evening. They generally want the weekdays. And then on the weekends, yes, adult classes, Friday nights, Saturday nights, birthday parties are on the weekends. Some will do after school, caregiver and me classes. You have kids not yet in preschool or in preschool maybe a couple days a week. So we'll sprinkle those in. So it's a pretty robust calendar. Definitely nights and weekends are our bread and butter, where we make a lot of our sales, except corporates will break that mold and they'll like the weekdays much better.
So 2023, 742,000-ish for the average location. Your best did 1.2. Corporate did whatever, 2.7 million in New York City. But I bet you probably have some high rent there too. So I'm sure that's awesome. These are strong numbers, unique. Yeah, all that's proved unique. The other thing I think was interesting is you had January, February 2024 in here showing a 26% increase, at least in those 2 months, which what you can talk about is growth. So how do people find out? So you open a new one of these things. It's unique. How do they find you? Is it all through digital media and Facebook groups, like the grassroots stuff?
We have 4 main marketing channels. We do online and listings. So we have great SEO, great website. It's mobile friendly. Like I said, your schedule is going to be on there so you can easily sign up and book. We have great listing sites. So whether it's Google Business or Facebook, we're setting up all the listing sites, turning them over to our franchisees to run, and really great SEO. So people are finding you, and organically we're searching very well. So that's the first piece. Second piece is paid ads. We have a great paid ad partner. We're having a grand opening campaign, $10,000 as part of item 7 to promote, get the word out there. Huge push that we're coming to town. And then we'll continue to foster the paid channels, whether it's Meta or Google or programmatic or different things that we might be trying. So that's number 2. Number 3 is partnerships. We love partnerships. So we try to partner with brands that will increase our exposure and that we care about and, have very similar bases. One currently we've just started partnering with is Girl Scouts. So they're all over and they're looking for fun things to do, empowering girls, women, which we're very heavily women owned. So we love supporting organizations like that and them supporting us. Not last but not least is community marketing. So we want our franchisees to get out there and meet their communities. So we're doing camp expos. We're doing open houses in the kitchen. We're doing just, be a good neighbor, be a good part of your community and give back. I think all of those things round up our marketing strategy. We like to stay front of mind, and we generally have 5 stars. I think their lowest star rating for any location is like 4.8. Fantastic reviews, hundreds of thousands of reviews for our location. So really great clients who we love, we adore them. And they come back, every few months. They're coming back once a quarter. They're coming for, say they'll host their 8-year-old's birthday party. Then they'll come for a date night on a Friday night. They'll do a corporate event. Sister comes to visit. They're coming for another adult class. So just people that want to know us, we know them. So a really good client base.
Yeah, I can see that in terms of, I got 2 young kids. I could see my wife and I doing a date night, having the kids go, especially if it's convenient and whatever. It's
easy,
like a fun time to go. And
dinner.
It's different. Part of it's like something different to do, but that's interactive. Especially, I don't know, in the Northeast, it gets cold. Like in the winter, you can't go outside as much. And so like, you're kind of looking for more indoor related things to do. That's really cool. So what does it cost to start one of these up?
So our item 7 is $382,000 to $531. For those listening who don't know, item 7 is the all-in range of investment, right? So the franchise fee is $49,500. And then all the other funds in there are generally going to be monies you're paying to the local vendors, generally your contractor, construction, buying everything for your kitchen, lawyer to review your lease, all in, but we're helping to coach you through that process. So the goal is on or under budget as best we can.
And most of that money, looking at this thing, 200 to 300K, is really going into the build out. Are you looking for like a second gen restaurant that has plumbing and HVAC and all that stuff? Or is it you going into white box?
Sometimes it can help, not always. We don't use generally commercial things. So we'll have a back of house, we'll have a commercial dishwasher, but the front of house, it's beautiful. See our kitchen, go to our website, tastebuddskitchen.com. It is gorgeous. So you walk in and kids can't wait to cook. It's bright, it's cheery, it's organized, and adults feel like, oh my gosh, I wish this were my kitchen. So generally a white box is what we're looking for. A restaurant can help if they happen to have plumbing and electric in the right space, but we're going to have to pull out a lot of their commercial equipment if it's already there. So we've been in past Starbucks, right? We can make a lot of spaces work. We're creative. My husband's my partner in the franchise business. He joined full time when we did franchise. He's an architect, did commercial real estate in New York City. When he joined, he is so helpful. As I said, all of our current franchisees have a female in the ownership group, which I love. And a lot of them haven't been through commercial real estate, commercial construction before. So he's there to hold their hand. We also work with a national brokerage company. We have national reps and local reps to find that great location. We have an architect who is good to go in all 50 states. So we're really are kind of fine tuning this process. It takes about 8 to 12 months from the time you sign your agreement till the time you open. So it's not a long lead time. Our goal is to get people open, get them operating, get them profitable.
And for the location, I mean, I'm assuming you're kind of looking middle to upper income. Is it class B plus into A? Like who are some of your ideal tenants and the strip centers? I'd assume strip centers that you're going in.
Generally in line in a strip center plaza, but it doesn't have to be. Like I said, we're in a former Starbucks, which is a standalone building in Palo Alto, California. It's beautiful. North Andover, Massachusetts, we're in an old mill building. It's this beautiful brick structure that comes up in the middle of residential neighborhood, essentially. And they rehabbed it when she opened. She's just coming up for renewal. It's been 10 years. She was one of our first. And there's like a ballet school and a restaurant and a cafe. So alternative spaces can work, but generally you're going to be in line with a big corner anchor tenant, but we don't need those prime spaces. We're great with any 2,000 square foot space available, as long as it has parking and as long as it's accessible. Those really are requirements for the outside.
And then what are you looking for in franchisees? You mentioned you have a lot of, they're women owned, maybe a husband and wife team.
Teams, yeah.
Got to be involved in the community, right? You got to care about the kids. You got to want to go to the events and cheery, right? Like can't be a curmudgeon in this thing.
Happy hard workers, one of our core values for sure.
Anything unique otherwise that someone listens says, hey, this sounds like me or sounds like my wife?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think our owners, so engagement is what we look for. First thing is just owners that want to be engaged, right? Whether they want to do this full time or whether they want to do this part time, just that engagement, that excitement, that, oh my gosh, kind of like I felt, I didn't even know this was a business. And all of our current franchisees, when they found us, thought the same thing. Like, whoa, this is really cool. This is something different and unique, but yet we're data driven, we're numbers driven. So it has that business component. It can be a real business to run. You as the franchisees have to want to build a team, manage and develop a great local team. And like you said, really be a good member in your community and a part of your community, because it's going to help you not just be a good business, be a good person, but also people respond to that. So they want to do business with people that are helping them, and we want to be helped in return.
Do you have any multi-unit franchisees?
We do. We have 3. We have one woman that owns 2. We have another husband-wife team that owns 1, and the other one is in construction, about to start construction. And then we have another female owned who is just signing her second franchise agreement. So we have 3. And then we have others that want to expand. So that's really exciting to me because, like, as I said, our goal is to grow. My near-term goal is to reach 100 and then 200, but I'd love to do it with 75 franchisees to get to 200. So we have people building mini TBK empires. We know if we can support a great group of owners and they want to open 2, 3, 4, 5 kitchens, I think that's the best way to grow. We'll be stronger and they'll be stronger for it.
And then for them, they're building a real business. I mean, if they can, from NOI, if you're averaging 225 grand a location, you can get to 3-4 locations. I mean, you're talking close to $1 million of potential income before debt service. Get that debt paid off, use that money then to buy more locations, and you can compound it and really build a great multi-unit business. Territory manager, run it or sell it, do whatever you want, but then you've got a substantial business, right? And I think that's like what's pretty exciting about this. If someone kind of has that vision and lives in a major metro that can support multiple locations, I'd imagine you can own a good amount in a big city.
Oh yeah, we've mapped the country. We work with a partner that analyzed our sales for the past 12 months and really profiled the TBK buyer and who they are and their lifestyle segmentation. We've mapped the country mile by mile. So of course, nothing's perfect, but we do have our city targets. I think the most we project for some markets is like 10 to 12 kitchens, right? In these really major hubs, like say a Dallas or something like that. And then going down from there. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity out there. And we would love to grow with people that want to, I call them mini TBK empires, right? That's what I would love all across the country is people creating something for themselves, for their family, whether they pass it down or aspire to sell it. There's a lot of opportunity there.
I have a few questions for you in terms of like actually as the franchisor and scaling this thing. So you've a number of years, right? 10 years, you've kind of at it. I mean, it's really over the past 2 years now that you've really taken off to grow it. I guess what have been some of your challenges kind of up to this point? A lot of brands stay small, less than 10 units or whatever the numbers are. And then obviously some kind of crack the code and they kind of explode the growth. I guess, what do you think some of the struggles have been as a franchisor for the last years, and how do you think you solved that now will enable you to get to 50 to 100 plus locations?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. I think Taste Buds Kitchen is such a creative business. It's a fun business. It's a passion business. And so I think our biggest challenge as we've grown is how to keep that creativity and the passion in the kitchen for our instructors, for our clients, but also it's franchise. We want to simplify it. We want to standardize it. We want to unify it. And so that's been our greatest challenge we've overcome in really scaling down the number of recipes in our system. Data-driven, like kind of looking at what menus make us the most in sales, which menus can we operate efficiently in terms of food costs or operations for your crew. Pinpointing those and then standardizing them in a way that is very helpful for our franchisees. We now have videos of literally, you can see me teaching a class, right? Or a member of my team. to know how to do this and how to make the demo work. So it's very approachable for them. And I think that was our biggest challenge that we've then overcome and are kind of in the process of rolling out. And I feel really good about that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of brands, I think it's too complicated, or it's like a hobby, or it's a specific skill, such as like whatever, cooking. There's a certain way you do it. And I think to systematize, to simplify, to make it that this is what we're going to teach this week, or this is the seasonal, these are the X amount of menus you get to pick from, and just makes it so much easier for everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely. We focus, as I always say, it has to be trainable, has to be scalable, has to be profitable, has to be marketable. If it's not those 4 things, we don't want to do it. Even though it might be the best recipe in the world, right? Or the most fun that someone can have. If we can't repeat this and you can't train your team, it's not going to be a viable franchise offering for us to do. I've loved that. I've loved that challenge that we've kind of come into the past, say, 4 years or so. And I feel like standardizing that now really has laid the way for growing.
Has the profile of the franchisee changed to the type of people you've been looking for?
It's a great question. Our profile hasn't, but I think we are, as we get bigger exposure, then we're finding those people that come in wanting multiple locations. And I love that, right? I'm a business woman at heart. So I love that new emergence for us of people who are like, hey, I want to do 5, right? I want to own Charlotte. I want to open them, as I can grow. And I think that's been really exciting to see. But no, they stay the same. They're friendly people, right? Kind and positive. Kitchens is our core value. So you have to be kind and positive, have to be data driven, have to love numbers and business, and want to give back in your community. All those align, and we can train you how to do this. So we're still looking for the same thing we looked at the beginning. I think we know who we are a little bit better, right? We know better how to describe this franchise and what it means to be an engaged owner and what it means to follow the system. I think we've done both sides are aligned.
So as you simplified your menu, you picked the ones that people like, that are profitable, easy to execute, attractive to whatever. What are some of the favorite recipes, the real hitters?
Whole wheat pizza. It's called Pizza Perfection, is our #1 bestseller for little kids. My sister developed that recipe. She used to work for us years ago. She did go to culinary school. So it's whole wheat and it's honey. It's a really fun teaching point for kids. That's our most popular seller for kids. We've done so many birthday parties of Pizza Perfection. And on the adult side, pasta. Handmade pasta, where you're making it from scratch, you're rolling out fettuccine, you're making ravioli, a rustic tomato sauce. So those are our 2 bestsellers. Second probably would be like Tasty Thai for adults, which is gluten-free. So we are a nut-free kitchen. We don't use any nuts, not flours, not oils. And we have select menus that are gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free to kind of capitalize on allergies or aversions or preferences. And then back to the kids' space, probably Battle Cupcake, which was like a kind of a fun play on just battling it out in the kitchen. Kids love to bake. They love to decorate. They love a healthy competition. And so each table gets to make their own frosting and colors and flavors and decorations and work with fondant. They have a great time. So those are probably our 4 bestsellers.
Are there any cities like that you haven't sold any franchises yet that you're looking, as of today and end of September, looking to get into?
Yeah, that's a great question. Texas is on my roadmap. I think we would do really well in Texas. We get a lot of
you have 0 stores in Texas.
0 stores in Texas. Okay. Yeah, and
I get a lot of people from Austin listen to this podcast.
Yeah, there you go. I think Texas is great. And the New York City metro area is great. I own the location in New York City, and there's so many areas, whether it's Connecticut, New Jersey, Long Island. Of course, the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. We're based here now, so we're in Maryland. So we would love like Bethesda, D.C., Virginia, Alexandria, all that area. Philadelphia would be amazing, really not far. Everywhere, like Atlanta, Denver, Boston. There's so many great markets. Charlotte, we have them coming right now, coming in Seattle, Denver, Atlanta, Kansas City, Charlotte, Winston-Salem.
Those are the ones that are, you have units coming in development.
Right
awesome.
Now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And you're open in California?
We are. Yeah. So we're in 14 states, 2 in California, both the San Francisco Bay Area. We have a location in Palo Alto and 1 in San Jose.
Cool. Well, I don't have any other questions for you. I think it's cool. I'm happy to learn about it. Hopefully someone will help someone here in Philly get in.
Definitely. That would be great. I'd love to
come visit. So cool. Well, and if anybody's listening wants to learn more, you can reach out to me, my team. We were happy to confirm the market's open. We'll get you connected to Jessi and her team, and we provide you a bunch of stuff to help through the process. And so that's all I got.
Have conversations exactly with anyone interested. It's a great discovery process to open a franchise. Be it my favorite thing, be in business for yourself, not by yourself. So whatever you do, right, find your passion. And I think that's the really great support system that franchising offers, both on the franchisor side and to the franchisee.
Yep. Awesome. Cool. Thanks. And we'll be chatting.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Brian.